I love your natural for real.
Hello, everybody. My name is Taja Bell, and I am just going to do a quick video of the top 10 myths of having natural hair or being natural. I'm a hairstylist licensed in Kansas, Missouri, and in California. So I've had a little bit of experience with some natural girls that have had some questions and some crazy ideas that I just wanted to talk about today. This is my passion, so I hope that you like, share, and comment on this video. Let's get right into it. Okay, so number one, the first myth that I would like to address is that you don't need a hairstylist, girlfriend. You don't need to go to the professionals to get your hair done. Just do it yourself. No, absolutely not. Now, let me rewind and say that it's okay to style your own hair. It's perfectly okay if you know how to do your own twist outs and things like that. That's fine. Perfectly okay. But never ever going to see a hairstylist to get your hair treated or get it checked out just to make sure everything is going okay with it is absolutely the wrong thing to do. Because just like going to the doctor, getting your yearly checkups, you may not need to go every week, every 2 weeks, every month, but you need to get a checkup at least once a year so that you can make sure everything is okay. You may go around feeling okay, but there could be something going wrong with you inside. Same with your hair. A professional hairstylist, we went to school for however long we had to go to get knowledge about hair. And these are things that the average person are not going to just know because you just don't know this stuff. So it is good to go see a professional at least every 6 months just to make sure your hair is looking healthy, make sure the products that you're using are not damaging your hair, just to make sure that everything is going okay. Number two, let's get right into it. Girl, you don't need to use regular shampoo. That stuff is drying on your hair. Just co-wash it. Don't even use shampoo. No, that's not true. I have seen a lot of clients come in that don't shampoo their hair. They co-wash it. And let's just say that there's nothing wrong with doing that. There's nothing wrong with co-washing. But you cannot go months and months and months without using real shampoo because your hair will not be clean. You have to clean your scalp and your hair of the oils that you're putting in of your natural oils. A lot of times people are building up product on their hair, and they're wondering why their hair feels dry, or they're wanting to use more oil because it feels dry. What you're actually doing is coating your strands. So you need to use shampoo sometimes to clean that hair, especially if you're going to straighten it. If you're going to straighten your hair, putting millions of oils in it before you do it is the wrong thing to do. You're basically frying it. That's lack of better words. Frying your hair when you do that. So you have to make sure that you're cleaning it sometimes. Co-washing is fine when you're wearing it natural, but you don't want to just get in the habit of just doing that all the time because you're afraid of what they say shampoo is bad for your hair. We'll talk about all that on another video. Shampoos, I'm going to give you guys the different type of shampoos and things that you should be using. But there's nothing wrong with shampooing your hair. Sometimes you have to do it. It's a given. You have to clean your hair. Dirty hair, build up on the strands. Sister, not cute. All right, so number three. This one is one of my favorite ones because I have so many clients that'll come sit in my chair and I'll say, hey, when's the last time you got your ends clipped? And they'll say, oh, I clipped them myself, 2 months ago. And as I'm looking through their hair, I can see they clipped it themselves. It's uneven. They got short pieces in the middle, long pieces in the front, short piece on the side, long. No, you cannot accurately trim your own ends. It's just something that you cannot do. As a hairstylist, we learned the angles and the way you're supposed to hold the hair out in order to get an accurate haircut. You can't do that on your own hair accurately. Now, don't get me wrong. You'll have some people that'll pull it to the front and trim it and do that. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But it's not going to be even. Let's just say that it won't be even. And the average person does not even know how to doesn't even know the right type of scissors to use, the type of shears to use. Stick to letting a professional do it. And twisting your hair and then trimming it is definitely not going to get the split ends off. You're really just cutting your hair. You're not even getting the split ends off. You have to straighten your hair to get an accurate trim. You can even blow dry it out. But if you're not going to trim it while it's straight, just be prepared for it to be uneven when you do decide to straighten it out, if you ever decide to do that. But trimming your own ends is an absolute no-no. It's not accurate, and if you are not trained to do it, you probably are not doing it the right way. I mean, you could be, but chances that you may not be. So get you a professional that you trust to trim your ends. The next one, number 4, is one that I really love to teach people about, because I think natural people believe that you need every single product at the hair store, at the grocery store, made from the plants, whatever, that you should put on your hair. Like, it's so funny to me, because I'm like, I'm touching my client's hair and it's like all this stuff on my hands, and I'm like, what do you have in your hair? And they're naming off like 20 things that they put in their hair. You don't need a million different products to keep moisture into your hair. If your hair is doing what it's supposed to be doing, if you're shampooing your hair the right way, if you're conditioning your hair the right way, you don't need a million products to keep your hair clean or to keep your hair moisturized. Because the more products you put in your hair, the more buildup you're putting on your hair and on your scalp. We have natural oils in our hair already. You know, you shampoo your hair today, in about a week, you'll see, you might not see it. If you're wearing it in a natural state, it's hard to see it. But if you're straightening it, you'll see your natural oils, you have them. We all have them. They all come differently, but we all have them. So you don't have to overdo it with the oil. Now, I get it. Your hair is natural and you want to put it in, so you want to keep the moisture in. Perfectly fine. Find something that's a light oil that still gets the job done. Because some of this coconut stuff and all this stuff that people are putting in their hair, and then they put in all the other, you're doing too much, and then your hair feels dry and you're wondering why. Because you're doing way too much. Grease is a no. I'll put some recommendations down in the comments, but you don't need all the oils in the world to moisturize your hair. Number 5. This is my favorite. Oh, girl, when you do your big chop? Oh, girl, you need to go get no trim, girl, please. Trims, you don't need no trim. Your hair is natural. It's healthy. No, not true. You cannot go years and years and years without a trim. You can't even go a year without a trim. If you go a year without a trim, I guarantee you your ends will have started to split up the hair shaft. Some of my natural clients have the most unhealthy hair because they go so long without getting trims, because they think, well, oh, I'm wearing it natural. I'm not putting heat on it. It's healthy. I don't need a trim. Not true. If you don't trim your hair, what happens is the hair splits all the way up the hair shaft, and that one strand becomes 2. And those 2 strands become weak hair that you're combing and brushing and doing stuff with, twisting and everything else, and then the hair breaks off. You do not want to do that. You need your hair to be as healthy as it can be to withstand everything that we're doing. So we're doing so many things to our hair on a daily basis that even brushing and combing your hair can cause split ends. So let's stop thinking that because it's because I did the big chop 2 years ago or a year ago, oh, I shouldn't have. You probably have split ends. So let's get away from that. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, number 6, the overusage of conditioner. It's a myth. You don't have to use every conditioner in the world. You don't need to leave conditioner in 24 hours over in your hair. It's a myth that you need to do that. It's a myth that you should do that. I've seen so many natural girls come into the salon with conditioner already in their hair, and I'm like, well, what is this? And they're like, oh, I conditioned it last night, so it could be easier for you to do. Well, just like overuses of products, you can do the same thing with conditioners. Some conditioners are used just for broken off and damaged hair. If your hair is not broken off and damaged and you're using that conditioner overnight, you're probably doing worse to your hair than you could be thinking. So if your conditioner says leave on 5 minutes and rinse off, do it. Leave on for 5 minutes and rinse off. If your conditioner says leave it in, you can leave it in. If your conditioner says rinse off after 2 minutes, rinse it after 2 minutes. Do not leave your hair with conditioner in it overnight and then wonder why it's brittle and you can't move it. It's hard, it's stiff. It's because you probably coated the strands with conditioner, and now moisture can't even get in through your strands because you've overdone it with conditioner. So let's start using the proper conditioners. We don't want to use ones that are doing more damage to our hair than helping it. So I'll put some conditioners in the comments as well. Number 7. Girl, why are you straightening your hair? It's bad for you. Stop doing that. That's a myth. There is nothing wrong with going to the hairstylist and getting your hair straightened, especially if your stylist is trained and understands the proper heat to use on your hair. There's nothing wrong with it. I know so many natural girls that are like, oh my God, don't straighten it. It's going to have heat damage this one time that I'm straightening my hair. No, it's not going to get heat damage. Now, if your stylist or you are using 450, 60, 70 heat, degrees of heat, then maybe it would. But if you're going to someone, again, that you can trust, again, people, find a stylist that has a good track record of growing people's hair, healthy hair. Find out what their clients are saying about them. Because you have to have someone that you can trust to do these things for you when you need them done. There is nothing wrong with straightening the hair when it's done properly. There is a such thing as heat damage, but you probably won't get heat damage after one time of straightening your hair if the person is doing it the right way. So keep that in mind. You need to get your hair straightened every now and then to see your ends, to see what your hair is doing, to see the growth. It's nothing wrong with it. I know a lot of natural girls will disagree. I know a lot of people will say, well, if you straighten it, then you're not natural. That's not true either. I have a lot of clients. My clientele is full of natural girls with long, curly hair, and we straighten it. I don't burn their hair off because I know what I'm doing. So there's a difference. If someone that doesn't know what they're doing is straightening it, that's one thing. But if you get someone that understands what it takes, you're fine. Let's move on. Number 8. I just wear my hair in a puff and my hair is healthy because it's in the puff or an afro, or I would wear it natural. Not true. Just because you're wearing it or just because you're natural doesn't mean it's healthy. Just because you're wearing it naturally curly and you're putting the moisture in it, you're doing all that stuff to it, it does not mean that, it's healthy. You could actually be doing worse damage to your hair wearing it in a natural state than you are straightening it. And yes, I said it. It's true. You could. Because what people do, mainly they put water in it every day. That's an absolute no-no. And then they're using the wrong product, and then they're not getting it trimmed. And then wearing it natural can be drying to the hair if you're not using the right type of oil. So you're wearing it in your afro, cute afro, you rock it every day, you wet it every other morning, you do your twist outs. That's cute, that's cool. But if you're not properly taking care of it, that is doing more damage because your ends are out, they're free, they're not contained, and it's just everywhere. I love natural hair because it's diverse, it's beautiful, and it's healthy if it's treated right. But if you are going to just wear it in one style all the time and never get it treated or never go get it trimmed, you're actually doing worse damage to your hair than you. All right, so number 9. This is one that I've been licensed for a little bit, and this is something new. But a lot of people were. It's this idea that there are multiple people with the same texture of hair. I've heard of people classifying their hair with letters and numbers and things like that, and I understand what they're trying to do. However, you could be siblings and not have the same texture of hair as your sister, and it's just a given. It's just two people. You could have coarse hair and she can have coarse hair. It doesn't mean that you both of your hair is the same texture. It may look similar, but it doesn't mean that. You can have 5 textures in your hair, 2 textures in your hair. You can have coarse in the front and fine in the back, or fine in the front, coarse in. I mean, your hair could be completely different on different parts of the hair. So then how can your hair be the same as her hair? A lot of people are thinking that, you know, I'm not going to throw shade on anybody. I don't want anybody to think that I'm doing that. But you have to know that there's different, everybody has different hair. And so with that being said, you can't listen to everybody about your hair. You have to find out about your hair and about what your hair can handle, what your hair can do. Your hair may not be able to do what her hair does. Her hair may grow faster than yours, or your hair may grow faster than hers. You can't do the same things. And I don't know, I feel like some people feel like, oh, well, if I classify my hair with someone else's, maybe she can give me advice on how to grow my hair. Your hair could be a similar texture than hers. That doesn't mean it's going to grow the same. Everybody's hair grows differently. Your hair grows in different stages. One person may have some type of you know, things in their family that their hair is have a little bit more oil, and so in this person's hair may be drier, but this hair looks like hers. But nobody's hair is the same, and that's a big myth that I'd like to address, because so many people think that, oh, my hair is 4C, this, that, and her hair is 4. There are not two people with the same type of hair. I mean, you can have very similar hair. One hair can grow very similar as her hair, but doesn't mean that it's the same. It doesn't mean it's the same. The last one, but not least, number 10, is the assumption that you can wear your hair in a protective style over and over and over again and never take it down and get it treated and taken care of. So many people will wear sew-in after sew-in after sew-in and never check on their real hair. They don't give their hair breaks. You absolutely have to give your hair a break after you wear braids and sew-ins and different things like that, because what you're doing is, for one, when you take those braids out of your hair and you're combing your hair, and of course a lot of hair will shed because it's normal. Hair sheds 100 strands a day. So if you're wearing it braided and you take your hair down and you're combing it out and everything, and all this hair is shedding, all that stuff, well, your hair didn't have that time to shed and do its natural thing. So you need to give it a break so that it can get its strength back. Because a lot of times when you're taking those braids and things out of your hair looks a little thinner or is a little weaker when you take it out. Everybody's hair is different. Some people don't experience this, some do. You absolutely need at least 2 weeks, at least. I'm saying at least because I think at least a month for myself personally, but everybody's different again. But give yourself a break when you take your sew-ins out. Give yourself a break when you take your braids down. And on top of that, stop getting people that braiding your brains out. If you have bumps all in your hair it's too tight. It's too tight. And you know what? I'm gonna do another video on that later, but we have to start taking care of our hair better than what we're doing, ladies, because being natural is beautiful. Having natural hair is beautiful, but it's not if it's not healthy. You have to take care of it, because you're basically having natural hair in vain if you're just gonna go from relaxer and go natural and then have your natural hair be just as damaged as your relaxed hair. You know what I'm saying? So do right by your hair, take care of it. I pray and I hope that some of these tips that I've given you today will help you on your journey. Please like, share, and comment. I'm going to be doing more educational videos to teach you ladies about some things that I've experienced in my career. If you have any concerns or questions, please feel free to hit me up. This is what I love to do. It's my passion. So stay tuned for more videos. Peace, love, and healthy hair. I'm out.
I love your natural for real.